I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another movie review, and today we're going to be talking about War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, I've been a big fan of this series. I enjoyed Rise. I thought it was a surprisingly good movie, and Dawn only developed upon that and was an even better film, in my opinion. So I was massively anticipating this film, really looking forward to seeing it. And loved a lot of the characters, especially Caesar, and the performance by Andy Serkis throughout has been brilliant. And as I said, massively looking forward to this movie. Obviously, this is the big climax of this trilogy. Expecting quite a lot of action, quite a lot of intense battle sequences. Really looking forward to that. So, what did I think of War for the Planet of the Apes? Well, War for the Planet of the Apes is the continuation of the war between the genetically enhanced apes, led by Caesar, and humankind, who are continuing to deteriorate because of the virus that was spread earlier in the series. And a sort of sect of humankind and soldiers, led by Woody Harrelson, is planning to destroy all ape kind for good in order to save humanity, while Caesar struggles with his own demons and things he did in his past. And I loved this movie. I think this is probably the best movie in the three films, and I'm going to get into reasons why. Firstly, Andy Serkis is goddamn brilliant again. If this was any other performance, if this was just a normal performance, he'd be getting nominated for an Oscar, because he deserves it, because this is unlike any other performance. This isn't normal acting. Normal actors act as people, act very well, mind you, but Andy Serkis isn't even playing a person. He's playing an ape. He's not even playing one of his own species, and he's doing it so convincingly and so emotionally and so brilliantly that I just can't. He has to get some recognition for this. He's been doing it for years now, obviously with Gollum. He did it with King Kong, and now he's been doing it for these three films as Caesar. I'd argue it's arguably his best performance, even better than Gollum. And he deserves some recognition, because he is doing some incredible work here again as Caesar. And how the film looks at his past, and how his decision to kill Cobra in the second film. If you haven't seen the second film, that's a spoiler, but you should have seen it already. But his decision to kill Cobra in the second film, and how it's changed him, and how it's been a scar to him. How making that choice has been hard for him since that film. It's very interesting how it analyses the psyche of Caesar, and it's really great character development. You feel like you really understand this character. Not only Caesar, but Woody Harrelson plays the general of this, the colonel of this sect of humans. They run this camp for apes, this sort of concentration camp, and they could quite easily mess this up. And this is what I was expecting going into the movie. I was expecting Woody Harrelson to just be a big bad guy, and he was evil, and you're like, oh, he's the evil guy. And that I expected that to be the problem with the movie going into it. But what they do with Woody Harrelson's character, they make you understand him, and you completely understand his reasoning. And the parallel and comparison between him and Caesar is some of the best parts of the movie, when these two characters lock horns, and their hate for each other is apparent obvious because of certain situations throughout the film. And you can see the parallels between their pasts and the hard decisions they had to make for their species. And I think that's one of the best parts of the movie. It really makes the villain human, understandable. You look at him and go, you're doing bad things, but I understand why you're doing them. And I think that's a lot of what the best villains have in, the best villains in movies. And not just menacing, but you understand the reasons for what they're doing. And I think that's what this movie does really well. Also, the movie is gorgeous. It's probably the best looking Planet of the Apes movie I've seen. Um, just incredible scope and visuals. A lot of great movies I'm reminded of by some of the visuals in this film. And I think the CGI might be some of the best I've ever seen. These apes look so goddamn real. With every passing movie, they only seem to get better. Motion capture is incredible, as I said. Not just Andy Serkis, but the whole cast. There's very few really important human characters throughout the film. Most of the main characters are apes, and the motion capture is absolutely brilliant. I have a few issues with this film. It's only very small nitpicks. I feel like the movie is slightly heavy-handed with its symbolism. There's a lot of Holocaust symbolism, there's a lot of slavery symbolism, there's a lot of movies I can see, a lot of similarities with other war movies like Apocalypse Now. I can see definite Schindler's List. I can definitely see, not a war movie, but 12 Years a Slave in sort of slavery terms. There's definitely movies I can see in it. That's not the problem, it's just I feel like it's slightly heavy-handed with some of its symbolism throughout the film. Especially with the Nazi stuff, I can definitely see that a little bit too clearly. I think they could have been a little bit more subtle with that. There's a few scenes, a specific scene which I won't get into, but the security in this this concentration camp, not so good. That's all I'm going to say. Not so good. But overall, without those, it has those small nitpicks. This is equally, along with Baby Driver, so far this year, my favourite movie of the year so far. And I'm going to give War for the Planet of the Apes 9.5 out of 10. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is my review of War for the Planet of the Apes. If you did enjoy, like, subscribe, drop your comments down in the section below. What is your favourite Planet of the Apes movie? Is it the original? Is it the last one? Is it this one if you've seen it already? Drop all your opinions down in the comment section below. What's your favourite movie of the year so far? As I said, it's War for the Planet of the Apes and Baby Driver. Both of them almost perfect movies. Haven't found that perfect movie so far this year, but I'm sure, hopefully, with Dunkirk coming up, that we will see that very soon. I should have reviews out for you of Spider-Man Homecoming and Dunkirk coming out soon. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.